Thank you. We shall have best use of this documentary. Thank you. Thank you. Please.
Yes.
Please.
First, I want to say how honored I am to be here. I saw it in yesterday's Vietnam news, 2 days ago. The Prime Minister sees financial transportation sectors as key to the escape from economic downturn. The Prime Minister said. And then farther into the article, he says an adverse impact is going to occur in this next year. And so a number of us who are socialists in my city, prior to coming here, got together to talk about things that we want to ask you about. And what we are concerned about is based probably more on our own ignorance than on an opinion. So I'm not going to express an opinion, but ask you. The old theory in socialism, of course, is that capitalism is theft. To be a capitalist is to steal. Sometimes it's important to take a step backward, like Lenin did with the new economic policy and Doi Moi. But still, that mentality is very difficult to overcome, or at least it was in Russia. I see in Vietnam, here in Hanoi, and I have not been elsewhere,
a little bit differently.
So many small businesses.
Yes.
And
5 million.
Yes.
Yes, 5 million small shops.
And people living on a very low income, with unemployment that was at 10 or 11% now. Okay. How do you propose to educate people about socialism when they have a small business mentality? Is that the case? That's number one. And number two, how can you help us learn from you so that we can do the same kind of education in the United States?
Oh, that's a big question.
And then we can go home.
That's a big question. You know, your question recall me the one situation when I was the Russian translator for many years. Was education in Russia, and perestroika, which Gorbachev begins in Russia already in 80s and 80s. And remember that in 1986, we begin Doi Moi policy in Vietnam. We have decided to switch from central commanded system of economy and from subsidized system of economy toward free market economy regulated by states. When we are talking about free market economy, it's a very common thing. And there is great change in mentality, in understanding the world of the leadership of Vietnam at this time. It is just few years after the war was ended. The Vietnam is totally destroyed. Every village, every school, every clinic, our infrastructure totally was destroyed because you remember that somebody said that they tried to turn Vietnam to Stone Age. And Christmas bombing is one of the last efforts that Nixon and Kissinger tried to win the war. We lost 3 million people, 4 million people affected by Asian Orient. 5 million of Vietnamese are wounded, are invalid of the war. So for this very small and poor country, facing great challenges of the hunger, famine, and very big problem of the future of development. And we think that, what to do? It is not matter for us at that time what to look for, but how to feed our people, how to dress our people, how to bring our children to school, how to rebuild all these ruins for the future of Vietnam. And we come to the conclusion that the social, political development of the world is something very common thing. not everything is the bad with capitalism. They have good experience. They learn how to use this capital. They know how to develop scientific and technology. They have the great possibility of potential, material potential, motivation for the people. And we decided to accept and to take the best thing from management, from all these systems, and turn that to free market economy but regulated by states.
The official name of the new state, the Democratic Republic of Vietnam, the ideal of the state is independence, freedom, and happiness. It is the three me, the three-time peoples, as the Chinese leader Sun Yat-sen has formulated. So that's actually Ho Chi Minh did not have very much in mind to collectivize, to have a centrally planning and something like that. But Vietnam needs to fight for independence against the French, and later on the war until 1975. That's why Vietnam needs the support of the Soviet Union, of China, and there was more or less a trade-off that Vietnam needs to implement the centrally planning economy. And the centrally planning economy did not work. Vietnam was in a very serious economic crisis in 1986, 1988, and as the Soviet Union has collapsed in 1989, Vietnam did not get any assistance anymore. That's why Vietnam needs to look to reform, to mobilize the resources of the Vietnamese people. And now Vietnam has established the main element of the market economy with the socialist orientation, and Vietnam has achieved the most glorious development in the modern history, a very high economic growth, rapid poverty reduction, and improved human development. And a new private sector has emerged. And Vietnam has joined ASEAN, has joined the APEC, has joined the World Trade Organization on 17th of January 2007. Vietnam has joined the WTO, and very soon Vietnam will celebrate the 2 years of WTO membership. And recently Vietnam has been elected to be a non-permanent member of the Security Council, so that Vietnam is very much engaged and the political position of Vietnam has been elevated. And now Vietnam has formulated the market economy with socialist orientation. The Party Congress has defined the 5 characteristics of the market economy with socialist orientation are a society where the working peoples are the master, a highly developed economy based on modern production forces and national ownership on the main means of production. It means land and state-owned enterprise. An advanced culture with deep national characteristics. Peoples are liberated from repression, exploitation, and injustice, working according to their abilities and consuming according to their work contribution, enjoying a prosperous, free, and happy life with the possibility of developing their full potential. Ethnic races in the country enjoy equality and solidarity and mutual assistance for common progress, and friendly and cooperative relations with all nations in the world. It is the 5 characteristics of the Vietnamese economy. Now, in 2006, the 10th Party Congress of the Communist Party of Vietnam has included some important changes in the program. Initially, a party member must be free from exploitation, and now this aim has been formulated to a general aim, and now the Communist Party in Vietnam allow party members to open private business, but accepted the private sector plays an important role and is one of the driving forces of the economy. And the 10th Party Congress has also adopted various important progressive measures to realize social progress and justice in every step of economic development as well as in every economic policy. It means Vietnam aims to reach economic progress and to the same time at every step to implement social progress and social justice. It's a very well formulated aim, and to provide a social equality in education, develop a learning society and provide education and training for the whole life, to establish and consolidate the social safety net, providing equal basic public services in education and training, employing healthcare, culture and employment, healthcare, culture, information, physical exercise and sport. And Vietnam is still an economy in transition from centrally planning to market economy, and Vietnam has tried the best to implement it.
Wow, man, this is great. I should have brought my camera and tripod.
To help anything, but it is rape the crimes against humanity. It is chemical war. It's the weapons of mass destruction in all the south of Vietnam. And I'm very happy that recently, 2 years ago, the Congress of America have approved very small the bill in the big bill on Iraq. I don't know why in Iraq, but somewhere there small amount, 3 million, okay, to make some kind of research, to have some kind of possibility of hotspot clearance with the dioxin, and to help the people possibly affected by Agent Orange. It's the first time, and it is a great thing. But 3 years, and this money is staying somewhere, not is spending, nowhere. And I don't think that it's the bureaucratic system works. It's not a question of paper red tape or something like that. It's something that not clear, not still not clear. I really love. I don't know how our colleague from the Women Association is doing video schedule, but it's good if our friend can go to some village.
Yeah, we will get on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Okay. You will see. Look on that. We don't want to show to foreigners, but as comrades and friends, you should see that. You should see that. You should to see that. It's terrible to show, but we have to go and see into face as reality. Yes, reality.
How else do people know what has happened unless they see?
Yeah. And that is second question, I think. Interesting. There is third problem. There is third problem for me. Is still somewhere in America, in House, especially in House, there is many proposal on the bill on human rights and democracy or religious freedom in Vietnam. I know human rights, religious freedom is a great value of the humanity of the America itself. But when Americans making lesson and try to teach Vietnam on human rights,
Yeah,
it's really like joke and it is irony. If somebody else, okay, we try to look seriously, but if you come here to bomb and destroy church, killing many Catholic, many Buddhist, many people, and now we ask, why Vietnam you don't have rebuild all these churches? You kill people, and now you are talking about human rights. They have no rights. So they died, they killed already. So I try to convince my colleagues there that I know that is value, and we are looking for, we are fighting for. We have to fight with you to defend our dignity, to have our own freedom. And there is no reason for us to have no freedom for our own people. We say that to Pelosi, to Speaker of the House. My president said it to her. So don't turn that to the politics. It's useless. Vietnam is very bad. People school people on that question because we don't accept that. But still, it is every time when decide to sign something together. One again, human rights. Where is Vietnam with human rights? Report of the State Department on human rights, of the Committee on Human Rights, and raising this. It is old-fashioned question for us already. But we are ready to have dialogue on that, and I think that it is thing that we can do together to learn from each other to make our society better. So we should understand socialism with the new circumstances, new conditions, new developments. As idea, I think that all 68 million of Vietnamese people continue to be loyal to socialist idea and communist idea, and we are very proud of that. And we are doing everything to achieve this objective for our whole nation. Million people sacrifice for that. And generation by generation, we are looking for that. We don't have yet real socialism for Vietnam today because many wars, many consequences. But what we have, we try to do our best. Distribution in Vietnam, I think that is a good thing. And distribution in Vietnam is orientated on very social and socialist orientation too. What we have, we share with each other. What we have, we try to narrow the gap between rich and poor. What we have, we try to give to all the people, to children, to healthcare system, to education, to remote area, to those people who are vulnerable for the new situation. And we see that is socialism today. Concretely and detailedly, that is on the grassroots level. It is not only idea, it is not only doctrine, or it is not just ideology, but it's on life today in Vietnam. In Vietnam, we try to do our best. This poor country has to fight and to win 4 from 5 permanent members of the Security Council of United Nations. Only Russia left. No war with Russia. We never want to fight. We never want to do anything. But what to do? Everything is happening in our own country. We have to defend our dignity. We have to look for our national interests. We want Vietnamese living as Vietnamese.